So I don't think so. We need again introduction about ERP, different ERPs and all this, right?
No, I don't need any.
Yes, yes. When we start with Oracle Fusion, this is a new ERP introduced by Oracle Corporation into the market in 2011. In 2011, they have released the first version into the market. We got release 4, release 5, release 6, release 7, release 8, release 9, release 10, and release 11. This is the latest version which is going on in the market right now. Release 11.
Okay.
So up to release 9, Oracle has given the software into the market free of cost. Means from Oracle website also we can download and install in our servers, and we can utilize it. R10 and R11 versions, Oracle is not giving outside. They are giving only for their employees as well as for the partners. They are going to give the only cloud access. This all. Okay. Now we are working with the R9 version. We are going to work with R9 and R8. We don't find much difference, but we are going to get a server in couple of weeks, R11 also. That we will do practice. Maximum functional wise, we will find some more features in R11. But now the training which we are going to work with on R9. Okay. Okay. How to find the version number for particular this application is, whenever we log in here, username and password, once we log in, we'll come to know here which username is connected, and go down. Here is the option about applications. So we have to go to this about applications, and it will shows which version of version. 9 version we are using. R9 version we are using. Here we can find the version number. Okay, fine. So before that, we'll work out with Oracle Fusion how this can be implemented. So Oracle has introduced financials and SCM, supply chain and management, recruitment, and HCM. These are mainly released into the market, and CRM still we are waiting. It takes some time to release into the market. CRM and order management also not released fully into the market. These are the different domains which are released by Oracle company. In Oracle EBS, in Oracle applications e-business, what we call it as a domains. This we call it as domains. Whereas in Oracle Fusion, we call it as a offerings. Just word has been changed. So in Oracle EBS, we call it as domains. In domains or suite, we can call it as a financial suite, and we can call it as a domains also. In Oracle e-business suite, we call it. Whereas in Oracle Fusion, we call it as a offerings. So what are the offerings we have in Oracle Fusion? Financials, SCM, recruitment, HCM, and CRM. These are the offerings given by Oracle. Now, how we can see these offerings in Oracle Fusion? Here. So what we have to do? We have to go to the navigator. Select navigator and setup and maintenance. Go to the navigator, setup and maintenance. Here we will see that setup and maintenance option. Under that we will find getting started. Select getting started. It will shows what are the offerings are given by Oracle company for Oracle Fusion ERP. These are the offerings provided by Oracle. Financials, enterprise contacts, customer data management, compensation management, coexistency for HCM, Fusion accounting hub. Like that we have different workforce development, workforce deployment, project execution, marketing, procurement, like the sales, supply chain, financial organization, managerial accounting, Like these all are the offerings we got it. So generally in Oracle Fusion, what we do, we call it as a domains: financial domain, SCM domain, manufacturing domain, HRMS domain, like that. Here we call it as a offerings. Inside of,
I have a question.
yes.
Sorry. Okay. The offerings which are being shown here are the ones which we purchased from Oracle, or irrespective of our purchasement, it will show us all the offerings
Yes,
here.
we have to purchase. For example, client is going to implement only financial modules, Oracle company, then client is going to buy only financial offerings. Then we will find only financials here. We don't find
Okay.
enterprise contacts or material management or project financials. Okay.
Okay.
So whenever we user login, then he can see whatever the offerings are installed in the server or given the access. Okay, fine. So inside of financial domain, we have different modules. We used to call it as a modules, right? AP module, AR module, GL module, fixed assets, cash management. Like this, we have the modules. We used to call it as a modules, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So there we call it as a modules. Internally we call it as a menus. Internally we call it as a menus. Here we call it as a task list. We call it as a, sorry, features. So in Oracle EBS, we call it as a modules, AP module, AR module, GL module, like this, we call it as a modules. In Oracle Fusion, we call it as a futures. We call it as a futures. What are the futures we have? Like AP future, AR future, like this, we call it as a futures. In every module, what we will find whenever we select, we will find the menus, or we call it as a responsibilities, right?
Yeah.
We call it as a responsibilities. Then here we call it as a task list. Here we call it as a menu. Here we call it as a task list. Here in Oracle EBS, we call it as a menu or responsibility. Here we are going to call it as a task list. Inside of menu, what we will find? We will find the functions, right? Nothing but a forms. Yes, forms.
Yeah.
Here we call it as a tasks. Here we call it as a tasks. So these are the naming conversions has changed between EBS and Fusion. When we compare with Oracle EBS and Oracle Fusion, here we are going to call it as a domains, financial domain, like that. And here we are going to call it as a offerings. Then we have different modules here, nothing but here futures. Here we call it as a menus, nothing but here task list. Here we call it as a functions, here is nothing but a task. Here one form we call it, here we call it as a one task, indirectly one form. Indirectly one form, that is. So any doubts here, Shravan? Yes, Chandra, any doubts here? Sumitra? Okay. So any doubts are there? Please text me. Okay, fine. So these are different we have. Different offerings, futures, task list and task. Okay. When now we are working with Fusion HCM, Human Capital Management. When we say HCM, here in Oracle Fusion, HCM is a combination of two things. One is workforce deployment, workforce deployment, workforce development. So these two things we call it as a HCM, Human Capital Management. It's nothing but a workforce deployment and workforce development. So like this, these two. Now here we can find, right, workforce deployment, workforce development. Is it okay, Sravant? Are you following me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, if
Yeah.
there is any doubts, sir, please ask me so that I can clarify. Okay?
Sure.
Okay. So now HCM is a combination of two. One is workforce deployment, another one is a workforce development.
Okay.
In workforce deployment, what are the modules we will get? Nothing but what are the features we will get in the workforce deployment. We have core HR, nothing but we call it as a global HR. In Fusion, we call
Infusion.
it as a global HR.
Okay.
In Fusion, we call it as a global HR. Then we will find payroll, absence management. This three and other workforce network also comes here in the deployment. Core HR, payroll, absence management, this. Workforce development means mainly talent management. Workforce development means mainly talent management, performance management, and then other modules we'll get. Mainly now we are talking about 4 modules, right? Core HR, payroll, absence management, talent management. So these 3
Yes.
modules comes under the workforce deployment, and talent management comes under the workforce development. Workforce development. Okay.
In our
So
regular, sorry, in
yes,
our regular Oracle EBS, we also had Oracle Learning Management,
yes, that
succession planning.
yes, that comes. I think those modules are not at come available. I'll show you what are other things we have in the workforce deployment and workforce development. Okay, fine. So in Oracle, generally in Oracle e-business, what we'll do, we'll create username and password, right?
Mhm.
And then we will add the responsibilities. And user will go to the particular responsibility. This is in Oracle EBS. In Oracle EBS, we'll do like this. Whereas in Oracle Fusion, also will create username and password, but in Oracle EBS, where do we create username and password? In system administrator responsibility will create, and will attach the responsibilities from system administrator. But in Oracle Fusion, all our usernames and passwords will be created in the Oracle Fusion IDM, Oracle Access Management, OAM. We'll find Oracle Access Management. There we will be creating our own usernames and passwords. Okay. So here, first we will find Oracle OAM, Oracle Access Manager. There our usernames and passwords will be created, and it will be transferred from Oracle OAM to Oracle Fusion. Here only we will be attaching the roles to the user. Whereas in Oracle EBS, we call it as a responsibilities. We call it as a responsibilities. Whereas in Oracle Fusion, we call it as a roles. We call it as a roles. So here in Oracle EBS, what happened in EBS itself, in system administrator responsibility, will create the usernames and password, will attach the responsibilities. Whereas in Oracle Fusion, we have separate concept called Oracle Fusion Access Manager. Oracle Access Management is there, Oracle Access Management. There we will be creating the usernames and passwords, will be creating the usernames and passwords and assign the roles to the user. Based on the role, then user can go for navigate the options. User can go for navigate the options. Whatever the role we have assigned, based on that role, user can access that particular features. User can access that particular features. So what are different types of roles? How to create a role, we'll discuss that later, Sravant. Right now, I'm just comparing the Oracle EBS initial navigation compared to Oracle with Fusion, right? This here. Okay. So whenever we go for separate Oracle Identity Manager is there. Here. Here we can go for search our usernames, and we can go for browse the usernames and attach the roles. We can go for attaching the roles. CRM abstract role, job role, financial job roles. Now we are working with HCM, right? HCM abstract role and HCM job roles. So what is meant by job role, what is meant by abstract role, that will come to know in the next session. Okay. So that that is a separate session. We are going to discuss about the roles and attaching the roles to the users. But in the real time, who will create the usernames and passwords and who will create the roles and assign to the users is a job of IDM or OAM developer is there. That person is going to take it. So actually in Oracle, they have introduced a new security plan called single sign-on. So in that single sign-on, they can run any application, and that's nothing but a Oracle identity management. In Oracle identity management, Oracle Fusion is one of the product which is running on the Oracle identity management. In Oracle identity management, so from there only we'll be getting the usernames and passwords as well as the roles that will be migrated from OAM, Oracle Access Management, to Oracle Fusion. Oracle Access Management to Oracle Fusion. Okay. So that we'll see in the next session how to create the usernames and passwords and how to migrate from this to Oracle Fusion. Okay. So is it clear, Shravant? Any doubts here?
No, I'm fine.
Okay. So generally companies has to recruit IDM developers separate.
Okay. So, how different is an IDM from a EBS system administrator?
Yes, yes. That DBA
Yeah.
and system administrator combination is going to be ID.
Okay.
Okay, fine. Now, this is just comparison between the usernames and password and responsibilities in Oracle Fusion. Username and password roles that here we use system administrator responsibility. Here we will use Oracle Fusion OAM, Oracle Access Manager. Oracle Access Manager. Now next, in Oracle Fusion, what is the new concept introduced is implementation projects. Implementation projects. This is a new concept. What is meant by implementation project? Whenever we are implementing Oracle Fusion HCM to the client, what are the offerings are there that we will include in the project? What are the features are there that we will include in the project? What are the task list are there that we will include in the project? What are the tasks we have that include that in the project? These tasks we are going to assign to the users. We are going to assign to the users, and we were going to find what is the status of the task, what is going on in the project right now. We can easily understand from the implementation project. So what exactly the implementation project? Implementation project is nothing but the offerings which is given by Oracle. What are the features are there that will be included, which contains the menus, nothing but a task list. Inside of that we will find the forms, nothing but a tasks. These tasks we are going to assign to our developers. Our developers, functional consultants will assign. So as a project manager, he will be under the control. So project manager can control the entire project through this menu, implementation project menu. They can easily find what are the tasks they have assigned to the users and what are the tasks are completed or in process or started, how much time it has taken. Like that, complete project can be monitored from the implementation project menu itself. From this menu itself, manager can handle the entire project and he can easily understand. He can understand. But we don't have this implementation. We don't have this implementation project concept in Oracle EBS. In Oracle EBS, for example, we have core HR setups. Let's say there are 4 functional consultants are working. So we will assign this task to different functional person. then who has completed the task and who is in process, when this is going to be completed, when we have assigned. This all things we have to maintain separate Excel sheet, or we have to maintain separate software or separate tool to track our project status. But in Oracle Fusion, we don't need a separate tool to track our project. Once we create a project, we can manage the complete our project offerings, features, what are the task list, what are the tasks we have, and what is the status of the task. This complete things we can manage from here itself, Okay. So I hope you are clear what is implementation project, Sravant.
Yeah, I'm clear.
Yes. Sumitra, are you there? Chandra, I hope you are also clear. Okay, fine. So they are saying that it's okay, clear. Fine. So implementation project is going to combine. Now we'll see how to create one implementation project. How to create one implementation project. Okay. So how to create that? First I'm going to log out from the current user. Sign out. Now sign in. Once we log into Oracle Fusion, then we have to go to Navigator. When we go to the Navigator, go down, here we have the setup and maintenance. Setup and maintenance. Select this option. Here we will go for first getting started. In Oracle Fusion, another advantage is entire ERP is designed in the tree structure. Tree structure means this product itself will guide us what exactly we have to do in the next step. What exactly we have to do in the next step. Like that, the product, if we take any form, any task, when we are doing it, it is going to show in a tree structure. It is going to show in a tree structure. It will be very helpful to the consultants what exactly we are going to do next and what we have to do that. Okay. This is just implementation process. How we have to implement Fusion applications to the particular client. How we have to implement Fusion applications to the client. First, we should have a proper plan. What exactly client is looking for, what offerings he is looking for, and we have to explain to the client what are the different offers we have in Oracle Fusion product. Then where do we find what are the offers we have here? These all are offerings, nothing but these all are Oracle Fusion offering products, financial offerings, workforce development, workforce deployment, like this. Then after that, we have to go for create an implementation project. Nothing but whatever offerings are required for the client, that will make it as a separate project, implementation project. There we are going to do our setups, means tasks, task list, all this we'll do in the implementation project. Then we will go for export and import the data. Nothing but once we make the setups, we can go for export and import the data, like inbound interfaces, outbound interfaces we have discussed, right, in Oracle EBS. Same way, here also data can be imported and exported, and also we can do migrations from one instance to another instance, one instance to another, like sandbox type, like sandbox. Then we go for transact, all this. Then we will go for maintain the tasks, perform the maintenance tasks. This is the implementation process. This is the implementation process for Fusion applications. That is getting started. Configure offerings. What are the offerings we have? So these are the offerings are available. These are the offerings. Copy configurations. If we want to copy these configurations to our project, we can configure. That we are going to do now. That we are going to do now. Now, as a Fusion HCM consultants, what we required, we need workforce deployment, we required workforce development. Just now we discussed, right? Yes, we required workforce deployment and we required workforce development. These two we are going to include in our project. Okay. Now we'll see how to create one project. Go to manage implementation projects. Create. Select this. Now this entire Oracle Fusion front end is designed by using the ADF pages. Front end is completely ADF pages. Reports is BI reports. Oracle Fusion front end is ADF completely. ADF tool and middleware. Fusion middleware will find a BPM process and Beppel processor and SOA, and then we have SBase and Hyperion HBase and backend. Backend we have both Oracle and Sybase. Oracle database where we find the tables and Sybase. There we will find the cubes. This is our front end tool. ADF pages. These are our middleware processors and backend is this Oracle tables and Sybase. And reporting. Reports will be using the BI publisher as well as we are going to use the OBI. These are the two tools we'll be using for reporting purpose. These are front-end forms, ADF pages, middleware processors, and back-end database and reporting tools. We have BI publisher and OBI publisher. This is the technical area and where we will be using the front-end and back-end and reporting purpose and as well as the middleware. Okay. Fine. Now where we are in the process of creating the implementation project. Okay. So what we have to do, go to manage implementation projects, select manage implementation project. Here is the option create. Here is the option create. Okay. So select create option, select create option. Now it is asking please enter basic information to create the implementation project. Now it is going to ask us basic information. What I am going to do, I am going to create an implementation project for, let's say, our company is Sony client, Sony Corporation. Now we got the project code, name and code. Code will be in capital letters and any description. We can go for expand these fields in ADF, which is one of the advantage. And what is the status of the project? Not started. And we are assigning this project to whom? Assigning user, when the project is going to be starting date and ending date. Starting date and ending date. Okay. So here we can choose the calendar option and we can go for select. Okay. And next. Now these are the offerings we have in our server right now. Just now we discussed, right, what are the offerings we have. Now what we required offerings, we required this workforce development and workforce deployment. Workforce deployment and workforce development. These are the two offerings we would like to include in our project. When I select offering, then we will find inside of that what are the features are available. We have a payroll feature, absence management, workforce predictions, individual compensation, time and labor, workforce profits, network at work, workforce management, and analytics. Analytics comes under the reporting that. Okay. So that we have. Workforce deployment. So workforce deployment is a offering and inside of that these all are features. These all are features. Whereas in EBS we call it as a modules. whereas in EBS we call it as a modules. Now when I select workforce deployment option here, right side, check this checkbox. Workforce deployment we are going to include. In that featurings, what are the offers? Let's say you want to include the payroll, absence management. These two modules we are going to include. Okay. Next, workforce development also we are going to include. So select workforce development. In that, goal setting, worker goal setting, talent review, it comes under talent management. This all will find here. Okay. So select whatever we required, and if we required analytics part also, we can go for analytics. Means it comes under the reporting, business intelligence reporting part. So what I am going to do is I am going to select all the offerings, two offerings, workforce development and deployment, and also all the features which are available in both the offerings. All the features which are available in the both offerings that I am going to include. So select both workforce development and deployment. Fine. We don't have next option, only two steps. We created implementation project. For that project we have added two offerings, workforce deployment, workforce development. Two offerings we have added, and inside of that offerings we have added the all features. We have added all the features which are available. Every feature will have the tasks, nothing but a forms. Nothing but a forms that we'll find next. Save and open the project is there. Save and close is there. We have both options. If we save and open the project, it will open directly. If we save and close, we have to search the project and again we have to open it. Now what I am going to do is, I am going to save the project and close the task. Save and close. We are going to save the project and close the task. Right now, we have closed the task. So now what exactly we have done is, we have created one implementation project. In that project, we have included two offerings. One is workforce deployment, another one is workforce development. Okay, this. Now we can find here what are the implementation projects we have here. We can also search, but right now search is not required because our first project is that itself ours, Sony Corporation, right? Select the project. Now where we are in the Sony Corporation implementation project. Right now it is assigned for the current user. Starting date is this, finishing date is this. What are the offerings available? Workforce deployment is there and workforce development is there. We have two offerings. Only we have added workforce deployment and workforce development. Okay. So any doubts here in seventh, creation of implementation project and attaching the offerings to the implementation project?
No, I'm fine. But yeah, I had a question here.
Yes.
Okay, let's say that I did not buy financials from Oracle, so I will not be able to see financials in that list of offerings, right?
We have, right? For example, you want to add financials.
Yeah, but say I have a situation where I did not, where I'm trying to implement only HRMS.
Okay.
So I did not buy financials from Oracle.
Okay.
That means I will not be able to see financials in the offerings.
No, we cannot see that.
Okay.
But yeah,
then
right.
What is,
yes, tell me.
yeah. Then what is the point of creating a new project and selecting only those set of offerings?
It is like, for example, one team is working on the payroll, one team is working on the talent management. So we can assign the separate this project to the, it is not like a, here project is nothing but a group of tasks. We can create couple of projects and assign to our developers team and who are completing the tasks. Okay. So here, when I say one team is working on the payroll, in the payroll, let's say there are 40 tasks. We can go for define payroll legislations. Here define payroll elements. Like these all are the tasks available. Task is nothing but a form. Okay. So out of this, 5 tasks I have assigned to A developer. 5 tasks I have assigned to B consultant. Then I would like to maintain the history of that. To whom I have, this is a task, and scope, what is the status, to whom we have assigned this task, and what is the due date, assignment permission, authorized roles, note, and what is the reporting. This all we can maintain in the project. So here project is not something Oracle Fusion project. This inside of our Fusion product, we are going to create a separate project to know the status of our project. Means it's like a monitoring purpose. We are going to create a separate implementation project. Okay. So here, whatever the offerings we have, that should be included into this, right? Our particular project. Generally, clients, for example, if there are only 2 members, 2 functional consultants are working HCM, uh, for 2 persons, 1 person is working on these 3 modules, 1 person is working on this module. So what we'll do, we'll create an implementation project, one for which is having these 2, and this task we will assign to the A consultant, this tasks we will assign to the B consultant, so that there will be a history who has done this task, when they have started, when they have closed, that a complete history will be maintained in our project. That's the reason we are going to have the project here. If we have, for example, one client is there, they have purchased both financial offering and HCM offering. Then their 2 projects can be maintained. One is financial implementation project, another one is HCM implementation project. Financial implementation project will take care by the financial team. HCM implementation project will take care by the HCM team. So here 2 implementation projects will create. In financials, we will include the financial offerings. In HCM, we will include the HCM offerings. Okay, is it
Yeah,
clear?
yeah, I got it.
Okay. So now here you have the option to maximize your page. This is one of the major advantage, one of the beauty which is there in ADF, and to like it is uh, web UI 4.0 version, which is flexible with Facebook type of options here. Okay. Okay. So now what we have done, we have created an implementation project. In that we have added 2 offerings, and every offering has got a number of features here. These are the features available. Okay, so options management and common HCM configuration, nothing but a global HR, and payroll legislations, payroll elements, and then this comes under the business BA reporting part. When I go for development, then we will find talent review, worker performance, questionnaires, worker goal setting, and define success and management. These all are BA reporting. We will get it. Okay, fine. So this is the first task which we have done, creating an implementation project and manage the implementation projects. In this project, if you want to do any add or remove, assign the task, edit the status, reorder, we will do that in the actions. Anyway, these options we are going to do next when we are creating the tasks. And these are when we want to show some columns. These are the columns are showing in the form right now. If we want to hide any column, status column, we can hide from here. So this status column is not available here. If we want to show that, again we can go for show that particular status column. Here it is. And then that options can do it. Unfreeze, detach, this expand, this scroll to first, last, ascending and descending orders. These all are common formatting options. If we want to go for add another offering, then we will go for again here this. It is going to show what are the offerings we have, and again we can go for add our offerings. And then if we want to go for delete any options, we can delete and freeze it. Detach means it is full screen. Detach means full screen, and again if you click this option, we'll get into the normal position. Okay, so these all are common. Go up and go down. These all are show as top and wrapping, and assign the task to the users. Edit the status. Now, if we are going to start the project, workforce deployment project is not yet started right now. Now we are going to start in progress, and any notes you would like to attach that can be added here. This and save and close. Now here we can see that in progress status, and now it is not started. So as a project manager, he can monitor the complete project here in the implementation project. What is the status and who is the user working on that particular task, and assignment permission, what is the due date, these all options. Okay. Done. Fine. So this is how to create one implementation project and do it. Fine. Next, once we create implementation project and include our offerings and features and task list and task, then what the next step we are going to do is, we are going to define enterprise structure configurator. Enterprise structure configurator. Whereas in EBS, in Oracle E-Business Suite, we call it as a multi-org organization structure. Whereas in Oracle Fusion, we call it as a enterprise structure configurator. So in multi-org, how we will define? First we will define the business group. We'll define the business group. Then we will go for legal entity. Then we will go for, ledgers, legal entity. Then we will go for operating unit. Then we will go for inventory organizations. Then within the inventory, we will find sub-inventories and locations, then items that we are going to define. Now here it is the organization structure, whereas in Oracle EBS. And in Oracle Fusion, we call it as an enterprise structure. Here we call it as a multi-org structure. Here enterprise structure will be created. Okay. So in the enterprise structure, first we will find enterprise structure creation. First we'll go for create the enterprise. Inside of that enterprise, we'll get the divisions. Inside of that, we'll get the divisions. Then we'll get legal entities. Then we'll get legal entities. Then we will get business units. Then we'll get business units. Then reference data sets. Then we'll get reference data sets. These are the main organizations we'll define in the enterprise structure configurator. Okay. So there will be only one enterprise here in this. For example, if I say we have Tata is one of the enterprise that we will create. Let's say Tata is having the 3 divisions. Like they have a cars, Tata Cars is one division, and they have insurance, that is another division, and they have mobiles, 3 divisions. So here what we'll do, we can define only one enterprise structure. Only one enterprise can be created. This is the enterprise right now, Tata. Inside of that, this Tata has got different divisions. Cars divisions they have, insurance division they have, mobiles division they have. So we'll go for define the divisions. How many divisions are required now? 3 divisions. One is for Tata Cars, another one is for Tata Insurance, another one is Tata Mobiles. Inside of that, we are going to create a Legal entities. We have already legal entities concept, right, in Oracle EBS. Same here also. Then we have the operating units in EBS. Here we call it as a business units. Here we call it as a business units that we can define for every division. What are the business units we require that? Generally, business unit is nothing but a branches. If we have 20 branches, Tata Cars, 20 business units, we will be creating. Then we are going to create a reference data set. We are going to create a reference data set. This is for data access. Different data reference data sets we have that we are going to create. Okay. So that we are going to create. So any doubts here, Shravan?
No, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Okay. So only one enterprise can be created for one instance. Whenever we are working here, only one enterprise can be created, but we can have number of divisions, number of legal entities, number of business units, and reference data sets.
Okay. But in Oracle EBS, we can create multiple business groups, right?
Yes, here we call it as a multiple business groups that we will go it as a divisions. Here we have to make it as a division, separate division we have to make it.
Okay.
So enterprise can be only one. Only one. Enterprise is just a name. We'll just create one enterprise name and that's all. Inside of that, we'll go for having the different divisions. We'll have the different divisions. Okay.
Okay.
Now select the project. Here we can search, manage, enterprise, search. Directly I'm going to enter the manage enterprise structure task like this. If we don't know the exact task name, we can go for manual search. We can go for manual search. How to do the manual searching? Go to workforce deployment. Define common HCM configurations. Define common HCM configurations. This common configuration. Sorry, it is confused. Define common applications configurations. Here we will find define enterprise structures for HCM. Define enterprise structures for HCM. This. Then inside of that we have define initial configuration, establish enterprise structures. This is establish enterprise structures. So this is our task, nothing but this is our form. By using this form, we can go for create the enterprise structures. We can go for create the enterprise structures. Okay. Click this, enterprise structure form will be opened. This is a testing instance, right? We have already enterprise structures names, okay? A number of enterprise structures that created. Now we are going to create a new one. Select create option. Create. What is the enterprise name? Let's say we are going to create as a Tata. Name of the enterprise is a Tata. Description. Tata Corporation. Tata Corporation. Now we have created enterprise. Give the enterprise name and description, press OK. So what happened? Yes, Shravant, are you able to hear me? Shravant, is it okay? Are you able to hear me? Shravant, are you able to hear me? Sumitra, are you able to hear me? Is it okay now, Sumitra and Shravant? Chandra? Is it okay, Shravant now, Sumitra? Hello? Is it okay now? Oh, hello? Hello? Seventh, is it okay now? Hello? Yes, Revanth, are you able to hear me? Okay, please. Okay, sure. So we are at establishing the enterprise structure. So what we'll do, we'll go to manage implementation project, select our project. If we know the task name, we can directly search. If we do not know the task name, then we can go for manually. Here we will find what is the path. What is the path? Workforce development, workforce deployment, define common applications, this. So I'm going for establish enterprise structures. Click this. If I click view in hierarchy, it will shows in the hierarchy method. This enterprise, establish enterprise structures, and here is the arrow mark to show the hierarchy. Click this arrow mark, it will shows go to workforce deployment or development, define common applications, this, and define enterprise structure for this. Now this is the task, nothing but a page. This is the task, nothing but a page. Click this. Now it's going to open the manage enterprise configuration. Okay, create the enterprise first. So we are going to create the name of the enterprise. Press OK. Fine. Now it's not going to allow us to create enterprise. What happened? We are not able to create the enterprise.